Good morning, Sri Lanka. What a way to start the early AM. And with me, my face, Jason. I've always wanted to say that because, to be honest, it is a pretty fish in itself.
Yeah.
How are you, Sam? Good morning.
I'm good. I'm great. I'm really happy it's Friday. And
why?
Because it's a supposed weekend, and supposedly I don't have to come to work, and supposedly it's 2 free days.
Oh,
nothing.
Man. Well, I have to work in this weekend. When I mean work, I mean party. No, I'm joking. All right. So, anyways, today on Good Morning Sri Lanka, we had our first guest on the show. We also have Otara Gunawardana later on the show. But our first guest, he was on the show earlier. We have Dr. Kuma Idamalena, who is the master trainer and has been teaching and training over 3 million people.
Wow.
In the last 28 years in Sri Lanka and 18 other countries. Amazing. He is the Asia's #1 personality training specialist, and he started, by the way, he introduced personality training field to Sri Lanka in 1984.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Without further ado, Doctor, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Doctor, just to do a recap of yesterday's episode, tell us a little bit about personality training and what it entails. Just a recap of yesterday.
From yesterday.
Yes.
When you say personality training, is training yourself to get and shine the real positive genes in you.
Okay.
I mean, when you say your personality, it has 2 parts. One is the genetics, the other one is the environment. Why I keep it like this is when you are born with some genetics, gene capability.
Okay.
And then when I keep like this is the environment.
Okay.
Your genes you cannot change. There's no control on that.
Okay.
Yet in the genes you may have 49% of gene potential.
Okay.
But out of this 49%, you are using only about 2%, and maybe 90% of the whole capacity that you have is wasted throughout your lifetime.
Right.
If you learn to use another 2% of that lost 90% of your capacity, your productivity or efficiency in life, in work, in business, anything you do will go up by 100%.
Wow.
Then personality training is to train you how to stimulate and get that potential out.
Right.
Get your hidden talents out, whatever you call it.
Okay.
You need a training for that.
Okay.
That's called personality training. Why it is necessary? Necessary because everybody doesn't get the right environmental influence. Environment affects 50%, 51% for your development of your personality.
Right.
Let's say, for example, Jason, the school you go to.
Right. Oh, we're using me now as
as an example, right?
Let's use me. Let's use me as an example.
That's you. Okay.
Right. Okay.
If the school you go to is not the right school, if it is not the right school, is not the right teachers, or maybe rural area, the teachers also didn't have a good exposure.
Okay.
Then your knowledge is totally different from the level that you are having today.
Okay.
Now you went to I think you went to a school somewhere around Colombo or where?
Yes, in Colombo and also in America.
Okay, good. So here and overseas. Okay,
that is correct. Yeah.
So the way you talk, the way you do things, where you think perhaps is totally different from a boy of your age who has gone to a school far away from Colombo in a rural area. Am I right?
Yeah.
That is because nothing to do with the genetics, a lot to do with the environmental influence.
Okay.
Okay. Therefore, if now what has happened, there's lot of genetic capacity which could have come out, has been hidden here, and somebody has to give a push from outside world. That's why training is necessary. You ask me what is personality training? That's personality training.
Right. He actually got it quite spot on because, like, my genetics. If you look at my parents, they're very conservative, quiet people.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm the loud one in the house. That was a good.
So that can have that can have your genetic capacity plus also environmental influence.
Right.
Let's say your parent. It doesn't merely by looking at your parents. You cannot say your genes are from your parents because your genes, they say, it goes back to 3 generations. It can you can't see some of the talents that you have, but still in the genes of your father as well.
Okay.
And because your grandfather would have had it, active, father, now passive, those genes, and in you it's active.
Okay.
So it depends on the environment, influence and everything.
Doctor, is that also reflected in your life? Because you have a very illustrious career, you've done different things of various fields. So is that reflected in your career as well?
Definitely.
From a lawyer to a doctor to a personal trainer?
That is called identity crisis. Identity crisis, because when I became a lawyer, I was in the law faculty, Colombo University, for nearly 7 years. I don't know whether you can remember that period, 83 to 89 period, where 83 July disturbances and all that, a lot of problems in the country. Universities were closed, open many times. That's the time I was in the university.
Right.
And I have spent nearly 7 years in the university, not knowing that I am not going to like this profession of law.
Right.
Law degree I did. I liked the law, to learn it, and I practiced as a lawyer. I earned money from that. But then at the end of the day, happiness is not there.
Right. So let me get this straight. Let me ask you this. When you started law, was it your idea that, you know what, I'm going to be a lawyer, or was it a seed that was planted in your brain by your parents or someone? Yeah, by like...
No, nobody planted in my brain. But I believe that profession of legal practice is a good profession, I thought.
Right.
That is maybe the way that society believed.
Right.
So I'm influenced by society.
Okay.
But then when I became a lawyer and started practicing, I had a greater mission than that. My mission was to build the nation through practical education and innovative training, to have a country with health, wealth, wisdom, happiness and peace. I drafted this mission statement when I saw a lot of problems in the country. Then when I became a lawyer, I thought I become the number one lawyer, and then I can do that. I can serve the community.
Yeah.
Then I cannot do it. Then so I'm not happy in the profession. I earn money. Money is not everything for me. Then I thought, what should I do now? Then I started studying for MSc in psychology, Master of Psychology, again also from the Colombo University. Then I started also going around the world to meet world-class master gurus in various fields, probably about more than 100 of them. Right. If I hear he is the number one in the world in maybe counseling, I go to him. I spend a lot of money for that. It's like a craze in me to learn. Then one day I felt, okay, there is a bigger in me than becoming a number one lawyer. There is a bigger in me than becoming a doctor. I became a doctor. I had a clinic. I ran a clinic. Then I get mental patients. I do counseling. I do treatments. I use herbal medicine. I'm an Ayurvedic doctor in the Ayurvedic Medical Council. Still, happiness is not close to me. Happiness is there outside. You go for dances, then you go for parties, you travel around. Then we show that we are happy. I think 90 or 100 people are like that.
Yeah.
But inside there's something missing, a missing link.
Right.
That missing link is what we call identity crisis. Every person from the age 13 onwards in the adolescence, they get this identity crisis. It's not an outside you don't know that you have an identity crisis.
Right.
Outside you are okay. But inside, subconscious mind, inner mind, you have a question. Who should I be? What should I do to the society? How should I serve? What's my role in society? These are questions go inside you.
Doctor, on that note, before we delve deeper into an identity crisis, we have to take a short commercial break. But when we come back, we shall find out exactly what an identity crisis is, whether you have it, and how you can get rid of it. See you on the other side.